Later when Nehemiah became governor he was the Toshata and is referred to as such at Nehemiah 8. 9 and 10. 1. Tiza Terza from a root meaning take pleasure. Approve. 1. One of the 5 daughters of the Manasseh Zelophehad. A contemporary of Moses and Joshua. New 26. 29, 33. 27. 1-7. 36. 11, 12. Joes 17. 3, 4. 2. A city in Samaria. Archaeological evidence seems to favor identifying it with Tel El-Fa'ar, about 10 kilometers 6 mi of Shechem. Under the command of Joshua, the Israelites defeated the king of Tiza. Joes 12. 7, 24 centuries later, Jeroboam, the first king of the northern kingdom, transferred his residence to Tiza. Compare 1 Kai 12. 25. 14. 17. Tiza evidently continued to be the capital of the northern kingdom during the reigns of Jeroboam's son Nadab 1 Kai 15. 25-28 and his successors Baasha, Elah, and Zimri. 1 Kai 15. 33. 16. 5, 6, 8, 15 The last of these kings, Zimri, committed suicide at Tiza when Omri captured the city. 1 Kai 16. 17-20 After reigning in Tiza for 6 years, Omri built Samaria and made that city his capital. 1 Kai 16. 23, 24, 29 More than 150 years later, Menahem, a resident of Tiza, killed Shalom and became king in Samaria. 2 Kai 15. 14, 17. Tishbite. Evidently an inhabitant of Tishbe, apparently a village of the Jordan, in the land of Gilead. The term Tishbite is applied to Elijah in each of its 6 occurrences. 1 Kai 17. 1. 21. 17, 28. 2 Kai 1. 3, 8. 9. 36. Tishri. Seathanim. Tithe. A 10th part, or 10%, given or paid as a tribute, especially for religious purposes. The Bible tells of 2 instances prior to the setting up of the law covenant in which a 10th part of possessions was paid to God or to his representative. The first of these was on the occasion when Abraham gave Melchizedek 1/10 of the spoils of his victory over Chedorlaomer and his allies. GE 14. 18-20 The Apostle Paul cites this incident as proof that Christ's priesthood according to the manner of Melchizedek is superior to that of Levi, since Levi, being o textoi acute miritra longo, tithe 11/10 tithe was paid, since no income was anticipated. 25. 1-12 However, some scholars believe there was only 1 tithe. Such tithes were in addition to the first fruits they were under obligation to offer to Jehovah. Acts 23. 19. 34. 26. The first tithe, consisting of 1/10 of the produce of the land and fruit trees, and evidently of the increase of the herds and flocks, was brought to the sanctuary and given to the Levites, since they had no inheritance in the land, but were devoted to the service of the sanctuary. 27. 30-32. New 18. 21, 24 The Levites, in turn, gave 1/10 of what they received to the Aaronic priesthood for their support. New 18. 25-29. Evidently the grain was threshed and the fruit of the vine and of the olive tree was converted into wine and oil before tithing. New 18. 27, 30. NE 10. 37 If an Israelite wished to give money instead of this produce, he could do so, provided he added an additional 1/5 to the valuation. 27. 31 But it was different with the flock and the herd. As the animals came out of the pen one by one through a gate, the owner stood by the gate with a rod and marked every 10th one as the tithe, without examination or selection. 27. 32, 33. It seems there was an additional tithe, a second 10th, set aside each year for purposes other than the direct support of the Levitical priesthood, though the Levites shared in it. Normally it was used and enjoyed in large measure by the Israelite family when assembling together at the national festivals. In cases where the distance to Jerusalem was too great for the convenient transport of this tithe, then the produce was converted into money, and this, in turn, was used in Jerusalem for the household sustenance and enjoyment during the Holy Convention there. The 12. 4-7, 11, 17, 18, 14. 22-27 Then, at the end of every third and sixth years of the 7-year sabbatical cycle, this tithe, instead of being used to defray expenses at the national assemblies, was set aside for the Levites, alien residents, widows, and fatherless boys in the local community. The 14. 28, 29, 26, 12. These tithing laws binding on Israel were not excessive. Nor should it be overlooked that God promised to prosper Israel by opening the floodgates of the heavens if his tithing laws were obeyed. Mal 3. 10. 28. 1, 2, 11-14 When the people became negligent as to tithing, the priesthood